Welcome to the Tongue of the Trees Recipe Hub. This is geranium medicine and this is an inhaler for an autistic meltdown. So, way back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I worked in Mum's training school as a tutor, which is more than 20 years ago, we had these three fantastic headmistresses training together, and they all worked at special schools, and they did each month you used to have to do a study on a particular oil, and they did case studies on geranium oil and their effects on these incredible children that were in their care. And I'll never forget it. This one lady had written this amazing piece about a little boy who was 8, profoundly autistic. And he was in a terrible state. He used to have to wear a head guard because he used to bang his head. He used to get so frustrated, he would bang his head continuously on the wall or the floor to the point that he'd split his head open several times. Just because he got frustrated, couldn't make himself. I don't think he was mute, but I don't think he was verbal either, if that makes sense. Somewhere, he was a long way in the spectrum. So what they did was they sewed a little patch, a heart-shaped patch, onto his t-shirt, and they used to just put 1 drop of geranium oil on his patch when he started to have a meltdown. So it took 2 days for them to realise that the response to the geranium was very, very quick. That the meltdown would stop very quickly and he would just start rocking. And he was clearly, deliberately interacting with the smell of the geranium. So then they thought, well, what if we put the geranium on him at the beginning of the day and we just kept topping it up? Then we didn't have to try and upset him by getting close to him when he was having a meltdown. What if we used it as to see if we could use it as a preventative measure? So they did. They put it on. Next day, no meltdowns. Following day, no meltdowns. After that, no meltdowns. We really don't understand why. We don't understand what it was that interacted with his frustration on such a deep level that he just didn't melt down anymore. But that was what happened. So to that, I have added 2 more oils that I find very helpful for when people are struggling to communicate. Vetiver, so calming, drags the energy right down into the boots, really, really grounding. And frankincense is so, so tranquil. So if this is you, I would suggest to you to begin with to just start using 1 drop of geranium each day. See how that works. But an inhaler, it's very hard to give kids, the sniffy sticks. It's hard for them to, because they don't want to. They want to throw it. They'll throw it. Likewise, I don't really like them to have round their neck because it's easy to pull when they're frustrated. You can get the aroma bracelets, very good, but I still think there is nothing better than a piece of tissue shoved in your top. You can put it in and it immediately, apart from anything else, fragrance is the top. Whether they like it or not, it's on there. And so even if they throw away the tissue, then we're left with the lingering fragrance. So I would go 4 drops of rose geranium, 2 drops of vetiver, 4 drops of frankincense. Now the downside of this recipe is the vetiver takes a long time to get out that bottle. A lot of damage can be done in that time. So it's worthwhile having a sniffy stick with it always in with the top on, just for a while. You can go and make this, or of course miss out the vetiver if you haven't got time. Shove on the geranium. So it's very difficult to make blanketing statements because, of course, autism comes in so many shapes and sizes, so many different challenges. Everybody's different. You will find your own strategy. But to me, those seem like the best 3 oils that I can come up with. The geranium, definitely. And then if you've got time, the vetiver and the frankincense just slows down the breath, you know. Calm, calm. And obviously the slower the breath, the more oxygen that you get. And they get a chance to distance themselves from the thoughts that have got them to this place. Such a shame, isn't it? Very upsetting to see. So there we go. Hope that works. Autistic Meltdown Inhaler.